Hello everybody, welcome back. Tropical update number 45 on Tropical Storm Ida, Invest 97L and Invest 98L. Tropical Storm Ida has formed from Invest 99L, then became TD9. As we can see, Tropical Storm warnings in effect for the Cayman Islands and Western Cuba, and both of our invests have a high chance of formation within the next 48 hours. To stay updated, of course, subscribe and hit the like button. 99% of you are not subscribed. Subscribing makes these videos go more viral, if you will. But the main point is that more people see it if more people subscribe and more people watch. That's how the YouTube works, and that means more lives can be saved. There's other ways to stay in the loop with this storm. So again, Tropical Storm Ida, our main concern at the moment as it makes its way towards the northern U.S. Gulf Coast. The next full advisory will be at 11 p.m. from the Hurricane Center. The storm now just located between Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. Decent amount of convection. Still not the greatest storm ever in terms of satellite presentation, but it is certainly getting there. Watches and warnings will be needed for the U.S. Gulf Coast soon, if not tonight, certainly by tomorrow. As we can see, as early as Sunday morning, tropical storm force winds on Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, perhaps even parts of the Florida Panhandle. And then Texas even later on. Louisiana, particularly New Orleans, still in play with this storm. I'd say probably somewhere between Lake Charles and New Orleans is the landfall point. Again, it's too early to narrow it down much more than that. Rainfall is going to be a big concern with this, as we can see 8 to 12 isolated, 20 for the Cayman Islands, Western Cuba, and the Isle of Youth, 6 to 10 isolated to 15 for Jamaica. Storm surge, of course, also a concern for the Isle of Youth and Western Cuba, 2 to 4 feet there. We'll have updates on numbers for the United States Gulf Coast as soon as we have watches and warnings in effect, which again should happen to around tomorrow morning, which means tomorrow's update I give will have more hard numbers and a better idea of where this storm's going to go. As now the models have begun to consolidate at least a little bit, thanks to this storm finally having some sort of actuality to it. It actually has a center now, which it didn't yesterday. The center's still not super well defined, but it's much more defined than what it has been in the past. Major hurricane strength by landfall, certainly not out of the question. As it stands right now, though, the Hurricane Center says a Cat 2. Again, we'll continue to monitor that. A hurricane landfall, all but likely for the Louisiana coast by the time we get 4 days from now, if not 3 days from now. Again, it's going to kind of ride that coastline for about a day, beginning on the eastern side of Louisiana, moving to the western side, kind of cutting it at an angle, not going perfectly parallel, but moving not directly perpendicular like storms tend to do over many landfalling locations. Again, major hurricane not out of the question for Ida as it makes its way towards Louisiana. Taking a look at the H-Wharf model, we see Ida making its way through the Isle of Youth in Western Cuba, not strengthening for a little bit, then blowing up over the Gulf. Again, conditions over the Gulf extremely favorable for Ida strengthening. And like I've been mentioning in the previous videos, conditions at large very favorable for strengthening with Ida. So again, big concerns down the line, and we'll continue to monitor that for more. Invest 97L, currently located in the mid-latitudes of the central North Atlantic. 50% in 48 hours, 70% in the next 5 days. Next update at 2 a.m. Again, moving out to sea, maybe a threat to the Azores, but probably should even avoid them. Tropical storm strength probably at the most. So again, no major concerns with 97L, at least in terms of land. 98L, much the same deal. 60% in 48 hours, 70 in the next 5 days. Also located in the central Atlantic. No major threat to land, as we can see here. No land areas really on the map. And again, peak strength tropical storm. Hurricane not out of the question, but again, generally it's going to be staying away from land, so we have good news there. Taking a look at the overview for the next 5 days from the European ensemble, we see another tropical wave coming off the coast of Africa, but again, clearly the main concern at this point is tropical storm, soon to be Hurricane Ida, making its way towards Louisiana, most likely, and then of course the other few storms that we may have to talk about over the next few days. So again, I'll have another update out tomorrow night, and by that time we could be tracking watches and warnings along the United States Gulf Coast, and we probably will be. I'll have more updates throughout the weekend, and of course, as we head into the progression of all of these storms. That's all for now. Chris Hickson for other Catholic Media.